Have you ever struggled to focus for more than a few minutes at a time? And if you're anything like me, the answer is hell yes, because this is something that I still, to this day, greatly struggle with. And honestly, I sucked at managing my time. I was constantly checking my phone, jumping between tasks, missing deadlines, missing reporting up my chain, and it was just honestly getting really ugly. And then I discovered something honestly life-changing, something that is so simple, only $15. And at the time it didn't feel revolutionary, but it has completely changed my productivity, my ability to focus, and honestly changed my life. And the best part is it's not an app. I don't have a subscription. It is something I can carry around with me. I don't need anything but a battery. And it is in itself pretty analog and not distracting too. And it is all thanks to this simple cube. This is what I'm calling my Pomodoro cube, my productivity cube, the cube that has changed my focus probably forever. And let me just show you how it works. Very simply, there is a on-off switch on the bottom. You can change how loud or quiet it is. And whatever side of this cube is facing the ceiling is whatever it's going to run. So it has a blank side because this is how you turn it off. But every single side otherwise has a different increment number. And if you want to run a 60-minute timer, turn to 60 up. If you want to turn that off, turn it down. If you want 30, turn it 30. And this has absolutely changed my focus, my ability to have deep work sessions, and honestly, enjoy my life a whole lot more, because I can't count the amount of times that I've been so high strung, so overwhelmed, and honestly just burnt myself out from trying to manage my focus, my time, all of those things. And this is now the device that I'm going to be using going forward. You see, 2 years ago, I was drowning in distractions. But before I dive in on how this has actually changed my life and what I'm doing with it now, for those of you who've been living under a rock, let me just tell you all about the Pomodoro technique. The Pomodoro technique was created in the late 1980s by Francesco Cirillo. And maybe I butchered that name, apologies to this man. But he was once just like us, an Italian student, really struggling on focus and time management, burning himself out, getting so damn overwhelmed, and he didn't know what to do. But the core idea of this framework is so beautiful because it is so damn simple. You see, Francesco had little bursts of energy. He noticed through his time that he had small bouts where he could focus, and then he would look at a butterfly and float away. And then he'd come back and focus again, and then he would get distracted, but then he would come back and get focused again. So instead of trying to fight through this, he weaponized it. He used it. He made a framework exactly about how this human natural cycles of emotions and focus time and energy and what we get distracted by. He used all of that in a framework that is now called the Pomodoro technique. And the Pomodoro technique is this: work in focus bursts. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 25 minutes. I personally really like 20 minutes. I like 25, but my cube only has a 20 and then a 30. And 30 is just sometimes way too long for me. And between these 20 or 25 minute segments, take a small break, 5 minutes. Go refill the coffee, go to the bathroom, refill your water, do something other than work. And honestly, this was the hardest part, was I felt like I was in a little bit of a groove, and then I stopped, and then I'd have to get back in my groove. But over time, this became more and more natural. And after 3 or 4 work sessions, including your small little break, take a longer break, 20 or 30 minutes. Go outside, go get some exercise, go eat your lunch, go take a shower, do those longer events. And the most important part is whether it be a short or long event, don't do any work. Completely close out. Turn your screen off if you have to. Put your phone right in your face so that you can distract yourself for a couple minutes, because this is your cognitive dump. This is the time and place for you to actually catch up on some email, or catch up on a couple text messages, or hit up threads. And if you're not following me, make sure you go follow me. Link down below. But this is the time. This is the time for you to have fun and unwind, and then get right back to it. And what I love about these sessions is it works with you. On days where I'm really struggling to focus and 20 minutes seems like an eternity, I start with 5, and then I take a 2 or 3 minute break, and then I do another 5. And if I'm feeling good after that, I try to bump it up to a 10 or a 15. And some days I get there. Some days I do a 30-minute session. Some days I do a 60-minute session. I'm like, holy shit, what am I doing? But some days it's a 5-minute session, and that's cool. That's the point, is working with your natural focus cycles rather than trying to fight it. And I think this has changed my productivity. And I'm enjoying myself so much more. I'm having more fun. I'm retaining information better. And I think it could help you too. So let's dive into some specifics about me. Maybe you're saying, cool dude, why the hell should I go spend the $15 on this stupid little cube? It's ugly, it's huge, I hate it. What the hell's the deal with this thing? Why not just use an app? Well, one, I hate freaking subscriptions, and you probably do too. So quit paying your app subscription, get this analog cube, keep it on your desk. I literally can fit this thing in my pocket. I can toss it around. It feels like a little bit of a brick, to be honest. And I love that because I know it's not going to break. And honestly, if it does break, it's $15, and it is $15 I would spend every single day if it meant that I had this cube by my side. And the other big thing, I don't know about you all, but I don't think I would fare well with digital timers. I've seen the one that kind of looks like the Halo where you get to twist it, and don't get me wrong, I've probably had that timer in my cart at least 50 times because I'm a nerd and I like tech and it just looks sexy and it looks like a lot of fun and I want it. But I know it wouldn't be good for me. I know that it would be a distraction. And the same thing goes for apps. Not only do I not want to pay a subscription, but I know the second I pick up my phone that I'm gone for a couple minutes. That every time I have to look at an app to see a timer or have a timer on my window or something that is not physical, that I could toss around, that I could fidget with, that I could do something with. I know I'd be distracted and I would lose all that focus, and I don't think it would help me. And if you're anything like me, where sometimes our digital products are not very useful because they're just more and more distracting, consider something like this because it has been truly helpful for me. My second tip, when you dive into this Pomodoro technique and you get a cube or you pay for the app or buy a subscription, whatever you're doing, is to be incredibly clear on what your task is. Before you start any session, I like to take 5 or even 10 minutes of just brain dumping, bullet points of what I want out of this session. And I think as engineers, this is something we do naturally because we're used to working off Jira tickets or Trello tickets or some kind of card system. And this is something that comes to us because we've already done the work elsewhere. We've done backlog grooming, we've done sprint planning, we've taken the time to iterate on these things and become incredibly clear on what we're trying to do. And I actually found myself struggling when I got outside of the 9 to 5 because I wasn't doing backlog or sprint planning. And I'm not saying you need to go and do a full-on agile methodology or have the damn ceremonies or anything like that. But I did notice that when I spent the time to be incredibly clear about what I'm about to achieve, what I'm about to work on, what I'm setting out to do. I'm setting the objective out in the air. I'm taking the time. I noticed that I was far more effective of staying focused and getting the task done. And I think you probably too. If you watch this channel, you're probably an engineer who likes productivity, who likes being organized, who likes writing and communication and journaling. You are probably that person. And I'd encourage you, if you are and you think, yep, I check some of those boxes or all of those boxes, you're like me. We like tasks. I love the feeling of checking off another item off my to-do list. And I love having a clear inbox and all of those things. So be incredibly clear, both in your 9 to 5, but in your life on what you're trying to set out to do. And I'm guaranteeing you, you will be far more productive. And lastly, I think one of the most powerful reasons for the Pomodoro technique, for this silly little cube, is because it allowed me to get over the perfectionism of just starting. I have had so many comments, DMs, people on my Discord, people on my text messages, people on my Instagram, no matter where you are, what you're doing, I have had so many messages. Hey Andrew, how do I start this? I want to build SaaS. I want to start YouTube. I want to be a content creator. I want to have an audience that I can build on Threads or X or wherever. And I see many of you out there right now is I want to be a senior engineer because AI is taking over and I'm fearful for my job as a junior engineer. And the reality is you need to put in the reps. And you need to get over that overwhelming thing, whatever it is for you, and just start. And this is where I think the Pomodoro technique has really, really helped me. It has helped me as somebody who is a perfectionist. I want all of my details together. I like organization. I am super anal about having things done a certain way because it's just who I am. And rather than trying to fight that, I use things like this to weaponize it against me. I use this of, I hear this click, right? I hear this and I know that I have 20 minutes on the clock, and it actually does show you a little timer. I don't think you all can see it on camera, but it does. It helps me so much just getting over that overwhelming burden of just starting. Because even if 5 minutes go by and I get distracted and I need to start my Pomodoro technique over, something about this analog device, something about just running, I have a 20-minute window. Maybe it's Parkinson's law, and if you don't know what that is, just Google it. It just really, really helped me get started. I think the biggest problem people have is starting and creating momentum, because once this momentum's there, it is so easy to just keep going. You know, they have that 15-minute rule where you give yourself 15 minutes of doing an activity. And if you really hate your life after 15 minutes, stop for the day. Like, don't force it. Your life is long and you have many more times to try this. But most of the time, I'd say 98% of the time, after 15 minutes, you're chilling. You're in a groove, you're in a zone, you're happy, you got your boozy drink, you're sitting down at your desk, you're having a good time. But damn, is it so hard to start, and this stupid little cube for $15 made it so much freaking easier for me. And I think it might help you too. And I think with all of this, the most important outtake here is that focusing or having the ability to focus is not something that comes naturally for many, many of us. But it is a muscle. It's something we could build. It's something that we could grow. It's something that if we give it the love and attention it deserves and dedicated time, it will be okay. You will get better at it. Some days will be hard, just like everything else. But as you do it more and more, that bar of what's hard just goes higher and higher. And I think the beauty of all of this is I started to approach tasks as I have 20 minutes. I don't have to finish this. It just means I have another Pomodoro session to do. And low-key, that's kind of exciting for me at this point in time. So whether it be your stopwatch, a freaking kitchen timer, like one of those old egg timers, this silly little $15 cube, which I'm not affiliated. This isn't a brand sponsor or anything like that. I'll link you down below just so you have access to exactly the one that I bought. I know it will help you. You see, the power is not in this silly little device. The power is in your ability to change. And all of this is the practice of intentional focus, followed by some intentional rest. And if you've been struggling to focus, if you've been struggling to actually get your shit done, try this out. Try a Pomodoro session. There's lots of amazing YouTube channels that play some lo-fi type music, which is great for us developers anyways, and it'll run the clock for you. You don't have to go and spend even a single penny at this point. Just go on YouTube. You might get an ad or two and that's fine, but just go ahead and try it out today. And if you do, let me know how you do down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your productivity techniques and how you stay focused. And if you have any other gems for this community, drop a comment down below. Let us know. And with that, I will see you all next week. Peace.